Hi everybody, it's Emmy and this is my channel Frugal Money Saver. So happy you stopped by. Thank you for visiting with me. Today we're going to talk about a recipe that I use for refrigerator bread dough, which is dough that stays in the refrigerator. You don't need to knead it, so it's quick, easy, and it makes delicious bread. Oh my goodness. And it's super convenient to have it in the refrigerator for when you need it. So if you're new here, I'd love you to subscribe. My channel really is basically a frugal minded channel. In other words, we try to keep things simple. We try to watch where we're spending our money. We don't try to conform to what society says we need to spend our money, which is bigger, better, larger, louder, and we do things our way, what makes us comfortable. And in the meantime, we save money doing it, and then we can save and spend the money on things we really want to spend it on. So if that sounds interesting to you, please click that subscribe button down below. I'd love you to be part of this family. Hit that notification bell, and this way you can know when I put out a new frugal video. So let's talk about today. This recipe is super easy, and I'm going to show you where I get the recipe. It's artisan bread in 5 minutes a day, and I'm hoping you can see that. Okay, and it is by Jeff Hertzberg and Zoe Francois. This is a great book. I just used the master recipe out of it, which I will show you how to make and then the variations of it. It is super easy. And it keeps in the refrigerator for at least a week. So whenever you need bread, just pull off a hunk and make a loaf. Super easy. What I did first with this book is, with any book that I buy, in other words, what I do if I do buy the book is I always check it out from the library first to see if it's something I want, that I want to spend my money on. So I had heard about this process, so I went to the library, took the book out. It was a great book, and I just waited and until I saw a sale, and we were in a thrift store, my husband and I, last week, and lo and behold, there it was for $1. So I made the purchase. But I do that, and I encourage you to do that with all book purchases. Get it out of the library for free first to see if it's something you're interested in. Why waste the money on that if it's not a book? And I'm not talking about this book in particular. I'm talking about any book. Get it from the library. Look at it. If you can't live without it, then you can always get it off of Amazon or wherever at a discounted price. So let's see how this works today. And I'm ready if you are. So let me show you what I've done. In here is 3 cups of lukewarm water, 1½ teaspoons of yeast, and 1½ tablespoons of salt. And what I'm going to do now is put in 6½ cups of flour. Now I'm using Simply Balanced organic flour. I bought this at Target when I was in Pennsylvania visiting, and it's been great. All-purpose flour. It's organic, and I think it was like $5.70 for a 5-pound bag. Is this 5 pounds? Yes, it is, which is an amazing price for organic flour. And the way I look at it is, if I were to go to the supermarket and buy a loaf of organic bread, I'm going to spend probably about $6. Do you know how many loaves of organic bread I am going to get out of this one 5-pound bag? I should figure it out. I don't know exactly, but I know it's more than 1 loaf. So I think this is a great, economical, wonderful way to spend a little bit extra on flour, but you're really getting an organic brand. So, okay, now this is how we're going to measure our flour. It's the dip. You dip in, and then you're going to gently take your knife or spatula and just do this. Do not compress it because it will throw off the measurement. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to put 6½ cups in here. In a minute, I am going to mix this. Now, this is the secret. You're going to be putting it in a rather large food safe container. Please make sure it is a food safe container. And you need to make sure it is not airtight. So this is a Rubbermaid container. Why I chose this, it's a little awkward, no doubt, because of the shape, but I love that I can store it on the door of my refrigerator. So it's not a bucket taking up room on a shelf. I just put it in the door of the refrigerator and I have my dough right in it. You can take the recipe we just did, the 6½ cup flour and the 3 cup water, etc., and mix it right in here. You do not even need to use a bread hook dough. You don't. You can just mix it with a spoon, wooden spoon, whatever you want to mix it with right in here, and it can be stored in the refrigerator. So it has to be a food safe container. And what my husband did was he poked a little tiny hole right here so that the air can get out. It cannot be airtight or the dough could, okay? So we don't want to do that. So make sure it's not airtight. There has to be, even if I wanted to, I could have left the lid up, but you just need air to be able to be released from this as the dough ferments, and it will be fermenting in your refrigerator. Okay, so that's just a tip. If you want, you can mix it again right in here, but I'm doing it in here because it's just easier for me. So I'm going to put this down and I am going to let it go until it's just mixed together. This is a no knead recipe, so it's not like I have to sit here for 5 minutes with the dough hook kneading it. You don't. The rising of the dough is going to take place in the refrigerator. Okay, so I'm just going to mix this up and then I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Okay, so that took all literally of about 25 seconds, literally. So come over here and this is what my dough looks like. Let me get it out from under here. All I needed to do, wow, it's heavy, is incorporate it. You are not kneading it. It's just a matter, and again, I said you could do this in here with a wooden spoon. Okay, so it's going to be a wet dough, and now all I'm going to do is take this, I'm going to do this with it, and I'm plopping it in there. Okay, look at it. It's perfect. Okay, and I'm plopping it in there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on it, my non-airtight lid, and I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator, and I am just going to let it rest for a day or two, and then I will show you how to take a hunk of that dough, like the size of a grapefruit or larger, whatever you prefer, and we're going to make a couple of loaves of bread with it, and I will show you how to do that. It's a super easy process. I think you'll be really, really happy with this. And it's so convenient, and it literally took no time at all to make. My apologies. I was just editing the video and I realized I said when we were done mixing it to put it in the refrigerator. Right after you make the dough, what you're going to want to do is let it rest at room temperature for anywhere from 2 to 4 hours until it rises, and then you'll see it start to deflate. And if it doesn't deflate after, like 3 or 4 hours, then just stick it in the fridge and it will deflate in there. But literally this, look at how much this has risen in half an hour, maybe. You can see, look at the size of this. Okay, this is how much it's risen. So the first rise after you make the dough is on the counter at room temperature from 2 to 4 hours. And then we put it in the refrigerator for a day or two. Okay, just wanted to clarify that. It's been 2 days since I put the dough in the refrigerator, so I'm ready to bake. We're having company tonight, so I'm going to make 2 loaves of bread, and I'm going to show you exactly what this dough looks like now. So here it is, and you can see on the container, this is where the dough had risen to, and now this is where it is now. So it did exactly what it was supposed to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, see the top of it, I'm going to, excuse my back for a minute, I'm going to take some flour and I'm gently just going to put a little sprinkling of flour on the top. And that is because we're going to be taking it out. You have to feel it. It's light and airy. This is not going to be incorporated. What we're going to do, this is just to help it because it's a little bit of a sticky dough. So I would say that's about a grapefruit size piece. But I am going to see what we get. It should be about a pound. Not bad. 1845, I'll take it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the dough and I'm going to just stretch it like I'm doing, folding it underneath. The bottom is not going to be level. It's not going to be flat on the bottom, but as it cooks, it will be. So, just making a nice little oval, okay? I would say that's great. Okay, you just want to get it so that it's kind of even, and we're going to put that there. Now, I'm having company this evening, so I'm going to make 2 loaves. So what I'm going to do is do this, tear it, okay, and I'm going to take out another hunk of dough around the size of a grapefruit. Let's see what we got. Whoop. 16, perfect. Okay, again, I'm going to do exactly, you're not kneading it. What you're doing is just making it into a little round loaf, oval loaf, whatever works for you. Again, we're just turning it under, stretching it just a little bit. This whole process, each one should take maybe 30 to 60 seconds, literally. Okay, now this one, I'm going to get this, I just didn't like the way it was all on one side, so I'm just going to stretch this a little more. It's a little bit bigger, but okay, that's it. Literally, that's it. The dough is formed into 2 loaves now. It needs to rest for 40 minutes. So what I'm going to do is set my timer for 20 minutes. And when that first 20 minutes of the rise is up, I'm going to go over and I'm going to preheat my oven to 450 degrees. I'm going to take, while it's preheating, I'm going to take a cookie tray and I'm going to put it on the middle rack, and I'm going to take a broiler, shallow broiler tray and put it on the bottom rack. So that's what I'm going to do after the first 20-minute rise. I'm going to preheat my oven, put these in to preheat with the oven at 450, set the timer for another 20 minutes, and when that 20 minutes is up, we're ready to bake. So now we're ready to bake. The oven has been preheating for the extra 20 minutes of the rise, 40-minute rise altogether. The cookie tray is preheated and the broiler pan is preheated. I sprinkled a little bit of flour on top and now I'm going to slice it. You sprinkle the flour on top so that the knife doesn't stick as you pull it through. There we go. They're ready to go into the oven. The rise is not that big. If you notice, it will rise in the oven. This is the kind of dough it is. So I'm going to open my oven. I'm going to show you. I've got the cookie pan in the middle and the broiler tray on the bottom. Be very, very careful when you do this. Okay? I'm going to very quickly pull this out. It's hot. It's 450 degrees. Put that on there. I'm going to close that. I'm pulling this out. I'm going to take a cup of hot tap water. Very quickly. Going to put that in. Carefully, carefully. Close it. Shut the door. And I'm going to cook it now for 30 minutes. Okay, see you in 30 minutes. Hey everybody, we're back. The bread is out of the oven. You saw the crackling video before. Look at this. My husband, say hi, Paul.
Hi.
That's the man behind the camera. Okay, here we go. Look at the inside of this bread. Beautiful. Okay, so now you saw the whole process start to finish, and I will be back in a minute to sign off with you. So now you know how to make refrigerator bread dough from beginning to end. It is really a scrumptious bread. It's got a crispy crust. The inside is delicious. It's perfect for sandwiches, toasting, just some bread and jam. Really yummy bread. I think you're going to be really pleased and happy with this recipe. In the comments below, I will definitely post the recipe in detail. The video was just a tutorial to walk you through it and hopefully answer any questions. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I check all my comments and answer each and every one of them. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I appreciate you so much. If you haven't subscribed, I ask you to please subscribe. Give this a thumbs up. This is a relatively new channel, so it just lets YouTube know I'm here and I'm active, and that's a really good thing. So until I see you in my next video, I wish you blessings. Thank you.